And welcome back to another week. I'm Gaston Rossato. This is season 6, episode 4.
And I'm Renzo Rossato. And like we promised last week, we have something very special for you guys today. What better way to kick off episode 4 with the number 4 car?
Right.
This is a 1966 GT40 Mark II.
That's right, guys, but not just any recreation. We're talking about a high quality, Superformance 85th Commemorative Edition car that is said to have 90% of interchangeable parts with the original GT40 Mark II. It's on the GT40 Registry. This is something that we really have to look into detail. Let's not waste any more time, but before we do, please hit that subscribe button.
Yes, guys, hit that subscribe button. Please, let's get this thing on the road.
Do it.
So we're in a GT40.
This is as close to driving the real thing that you can get.
In the streets.
It's a little nerve-wracking. It's very cramped. It's very tight in here. We're making it work. If you guys are wondering how we fit, well, we took off our shoes to give us that extra space. You know, it's intimidating to look back. You see those throttle bodies just right there, right by your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, people are taking pictures of us as we're here speaking. It's quite the experience.
It's not a car to take on a long trip.
No.
But to think that this car was built for endurance racing.
That's what blows
and
my mind.
Was built specifically for that 24-hour Le Mans. And somebody sat in this car for 12 hours. I mean, 6 hours at a time, but a total of 12 hours within a 24-hour period blows my mind.
In the night, in the bad weather, competing with other cars at full speed, you know, with a full set of gear, helmet. I mean, it takes a mindset. When you sit in this car, you start to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
What it really takes, and how those drivers were true athletes, huh?
Oh, 100%. They were definitely true athletes.
So much power, it's scary. And the thing is that you hear it right here, you feel it right there.
And I feel the heat coming out of this engine right now. Thank God it's a nice cool day here.
Well, yeah, but it's a little scary. This is not a car that you can get in it and start stepping on it.
No.
It's a car that you really have to understand it. You have to get a good feel for how it reacts and the kind of power that it has. It's just unbelievable.
All right, we're back at the barn. What an incredible car.
I'm still shaking from that ride. Oh my God.
It's obviously not a car to be driving in the street, and it's a car that takes some getting used to and some learning. But it
is a street legal car.
It is a street legal car. It is a street legal car, but it's exhilarating. It really is exhilarating.
It's a car that you really got to sit, you got to tune in, you got to learn to drive it, you got to understand the car.
Right.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about the GT40, right? The original GT40 started in production in 1964, continued in 1969. We're looking at here at the Mark II. The Mark II is actually the first car to win Le Mans in 1966.
Probably the most significant of all.
Exactly, and this car is titled as a 1966. That's right.
That is important to say, yes. Titled as a 1966, like a classic car. A lot of people enjoy that for a lot of different reasons. Right. Built in 2008. Why 2008? Well, that was Carrol Shelby's 85th birthday year. In fact, he signed this car along with Robert Burbank, who was a famous Shelby American driver.
Yeah. So that's a lot of that's a big deal. Have those two signatures on this car.
I think there's one big theme right here that we really have to emphasize on, and that's authenticity. The car is extremely authentic. You see it throughout the entire car, the entire build. Just these wheels, for instance, these are not, you know, make-believe knockoffs with the 5-bolt pattern behind it. No, these are real knockoff wheels with proper vintage racing Avon tires. I love that. You see it in the small details throughout the entire build. This is paint work on not only this double white racing stripe, but the white bubble here.
Yeah. So I mean, this car, like we said and mentioned in the beginning, is 90% just like the original. I mean, very small changes that come with this one that are, you know, they're interchangeable pretty much. We do have what was very necessary today, especially pulling into the gas station. We have a front nose lift.
I love that. It came useful today, and that's a perfect blend between modern and vintage, right?
It is.
90% of the car is original, the other percent is just having that kind of stuff. Like I see here, a dual electro fan bolted onto an aluminum radiator,
Which
Wilwood brakes, which you really got to fight for that stopping power.
Yes, you do.
But it is an upgrade, supposedly.
And then, let me tell you, those electric fans do work really well, because we're sitting in traffic and I can see the heat just coming out of the front.
Heat. Absolutely.
The car is equipped with AC, although the original GT40s that were
the race cars, right?
Race cars were not. The original ones on the street did have the AC system in there as well. But that is extremely helpful, especially some here, like down here in South Florida.
Another great authenticity fact that I love about this car, it's just not a standard, you know, throw on fiber body. No, this is a super steel semi-monocoque chassis with a pressed steel roof, just like the original car.
Exactly, just like the original car. And bolted onto that chassis is none other than this beautiful engine right here. Let's take a look at it. So we're looking at a 468 cubic inch Shelby V8 producing 559 horsepower, and that's dynoed.
That power to weight ratio is totally off in your favor, by the way.
100%. Look at those individual throttle bodies, giving it that old school carbureted look.
It looks carbureted. Again, more of that blend of modern and vintage. I love it. The car is an absolute, look at that exhaust system. It's a masterpiece.
Headers
it's
and
an art form. It's got all these ducts coming in, one here through the engine, those for the rear brakes. Everything on the car is functional, just like the original car.
It's really a piece of artwork just to sit here and look. I can sit here and look at this all day.
Another important fact to mention, you had said titled, it's 1966, but it also has a GT40P designation, which allows it to be eligible for the GT40 Registry. In fact, this car is on the registry, the Shelby Registry and the Superformance Registry.
Yeah, so I mean, Shelby looks at this as a continuation of the original build.
Right.
That's how close,
authentic it
is. It's such an amazing car. It really is. It gives me goosebumps to think about it.
And I love seeing this car with the 2006 GT we happen to have in stock, also in the same livery. It's phenomenal to see.
And we have those shots there for you guys. You guys can enjoy that. And if we have done a review on that Ford GT before,
that is right.
If you go back to our season 1, episode 10, you can take a look at it there.
Absolutely, guys. So please, if you want to learn more about this particular car, we're going to put the link down below to our website where you can see all the detailed photos. The car is listed for sale and available today. So please do that. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button. We want to thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week. I'm Gaston Rossato.
And I'm Renzo Rossato. Thank you for joining us. Until next time. Peace out.